You're a nice guy when we meet like this, but I don't see that when you get into the car. You're so ruthless.
We'll try and picture this, right? You're following someone,
Yeah.
right? You come to this certain corner and you're so close, you can feel something. You can feel like you want to go.
How do you get there? Is it the experience or how do you get there?
Feeling. You can feel how much grip you have underneath you. You feel how much speed you can carry through a corner. You feel the car slide slightly and you're like, oh, okay, that seems like the limit.
So this question that I'm going to bring is for the young budding drivers. These drivers get distracted with their mobile phones. How do you really focus on a race day or a race week? Can you share some of the gestures that your parents brought in when you were losing and so on, which helped you?
Yeah, I mean, what really helped me was that they looked at things objectively.
Yeah, so the old school thought still remains the same.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hard work beats talent always. No, there's no fast route to success. There's no cheating to success. It's gonna take time. It's gonna take a lot of hard work. This sport is 100% mental.
How do you look at losing?
Losing is tough. No one, pursues things in life to lose. So even though you don't want it, you have to realize that it's a part of it. You finish second place. There's always a reason why you finish second place. As long as you pick that one reason each time you didn't succeed and improve on that, that's all you can do. Someone crashing into me or someone doing something to me, there's nothing I can do about that. So it's just about being better, being more ahead next time. That's it. Thank you to you so much, and huge thanks to Pit Pass for all the support the last few years. Life is racing, yes.
Hi guys, so we have a very known face, the champ, the lion who's going to row in the international circuits. Yevan David, how are you?
Very good, how are you?
Thanks for coming, man.
It's a pleasure to be here. I can't wait to get the conversation going.
Of course, of course. So Yevan, as you said, without any delay, I want to jump into this question. The big news is F3.
Yes, F3.
Right? So we all waiting to hear. What was your first response when you heard, hey, Yevan, you're coming on board with F3?
Well, I mean, going into this season, I knew that if I did well, I would get the opportunity to go to Formula 3 because, if you do well in a category, of course you're going to move up. Yeah. But around May, June, when we started winning races, leading the championship, it's like, okay, we have a shot now. We're going to start talking to teams and stuff. That's when it started to get real. Yeah. And then when we got the call that, boom, we're signing, I was like, wow, okay, this is amazing. And then the second burst of happiness was when the post came out, all the announcement, all the fans, you as well, supporting. Yeah. It was like a dream. I couldn't explain it.
I don't know, man. It's amazing. We've been waiting for this to happen for a person who's carrying the Sri Lankan flag. Yes. Right? It's the most amazing feeling. Even when I saw that, I think I was with a couple of friends at that time. I was like, whoa, yeah, it's amazing.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, I was out as well. I think I was at CCC or something. I didn't realize the time of the post and it came out. I was like, whoa, okay, let's go. And I reposted it and everything. It was amazing, yeah. Yeah,
let's talk about the team a little, the F3 team that you're going to go with, where we stand and what is our journey to F1. I'm sure that is the dream that
Of course, yes.
Yeah? So let's talk about the team and so on.
Yeah, so AIX Racing, they entered the team last year. They're a Dubai team, but they're based in Germany, actually. Okay. And they're a very good team. They've proven themselves this year. They've got a pole position, they've got a front row in qualifying, and no one expected it from them. And their drivers as well have been doing a good job because they've entered the championship mid-season without doing the preseason testing, and they're doing that well. Right. So they've proven themselves, they've proven that they have the potential, and I'm super excited to work with them.
So they are a disruptor just like you.
Yeah. Breakthrough underdogs, I'd like to say, yeah.
Super. So, Yevan, let's talk about the early days in racing, how you came into this, and what really pulled you into karting and racing?
Yeah, well, I mean, what really pulled me in was obviously the Cars movie. I loved watching cars, and then also just the actual adrenaline and the feeling I got from driving. A lot of people like cars and like different type of cars and stuff, and I do too. But above from that, I love the feeling of actually driving. So I fell in love with that when I was 6 years old, and that's what carried me to where I am now. I started karting in Asia, in Singapore. The first time I had that feeling was driving here in Bandaragama. Yeah. And then obviously I started racing in Asia, started racing in Australia, and then after COVID, I've been racing full time in Europe. And in 2024, I started in cars, Formula cars in Formula 4. So this is my second season of cars.
So was there a moment in your early years, Yevan, where this moment that you thought, oh, and I'm going to do this professionally? When was that deciding moment? Or can you remember that memorable moment? Or, hey, I think I should do this professionally.
Yeah, it was just kind of like over time it developed. Honestly, I started at 6 years old, but it was just for fun at the time. And it was kind of for a career, but I was still doing it for fun, if that made sense. And I still am. But then at around 9 or 10, when we started winning races properly, talking about going to Australia, going to Europe and stuff, it was like, whoa, okay, now it's a career. Now we're going for it. And especially after COVID, when I went to Europe full time, it was all hands down, we're going to F1. So that was the plan ever since I started.
So this question, because people say like you need to have a purpose and a big why, because if you don't have a why, you basically give up. What's the big why behind racing for you?
Why is because I want to achieve. I want to be the best driver in the world. I want to be driving cars to the absolute limit, and I want to have this feeling of driving forever. The feeling I get when I'm behind the wheel and when I'm on the track and when I'm just feeling the speed coming at me, it's just something I can't explain, and I want to have that for the rest of my life. So the big reason between why I'm doing my career, to have that feeling of driving forever.
See, you were talking about this ultimatum, like ultimate place that you want to be in terms of racing and so on, right? Let's say when you achieve that point, then what?
Well, let's say I make it. I do very well. I've achieved everything I want to achieve.
Yeah.
It's a tough question, but
I know.
I think what I want to do is stay involved in racing forever. And that means, let's say I retire around 40 or 45 years old from whatever I'm doing in racing. I would like to develop racing in Sri Lanka, you know, build some new tracks, obviously develop the karting scene, but also develop the car scene. Maybe we could have Formula 4 races here, Formula regional races, because just to help promote racing in Sri Lanka. That's my ultimate goal by the end of my life, and I would love to do that after I'm done with my career. And yeah, I'm saying this now, but we'll see in 20, 25 years what the plans are for motor racing in Sri Lanka.
Absolutely, because I knew when I was getting ready with that question that I'm going to put you to spot with that.
Yeah, because honestly, that's not a question I've been asked before. I mean, I've thought about it, but I guess I've been so focused on what's right in front of me, I didn't think about it after.
Absolutely,
So,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so talking about the early days of racing, right? Can you share the biggest challenge that you have when it comes to either karting level or junior categories or so on? What is the biggest challenge that you've carried?
I think the biggest challenge was going to Europe and just adapting to that racing scene. I mean, I was in Asia racing against 15, 20 drivers that I knew weekend in and weekend out for a stretch of a few years.
Yeah.
And in the late 2010s, I went to Australia or I went to Europe for 2 or 3 races a year, but that was it. 2021 came and I did 23 races in Europe and driving almost every week. And I was driving against 80, 90 competitors on the karting field. And it's like, wow, now you got to adapt to that at 13. So just having the confidence and the belief in myself to go and race these guys and just be there as a little kid, but still drive fast was tough.
Yeah.
But then I realized I'm good enough to be there. I'm good enough to win. And then the momentum started from then.
Absolutely. See, Yevan, now since we are talking about the challenges that we have, I want to know what is like the most memorable moment or the most there could be a season or a race where that you felt like everything is going against you, right? Almost everything is going against you. I think we had this chat when we last met. You said like, Heshan, I was doing everything right, but I was not getting my places.
I was not getting,
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So when things are, well, let's talk about that. When things are not going your way, how did you push through? What did you do?
It's tough. It's tough, you know, you have to really look into yourself and say, why is this happening? But what I realized was if you start feeling bad over and over and over again, there has to be a reason why you're feeling bad. There has to be a reason why you're not winning. And even if you're doing everything right, and you can't find the happiness from trying to win or trying to be the best on track or off track of what you are,
Yeah.
ask somebody, speak to your family, speak to your team, because these are people that are on your side. I got so into this cycle of what do I do, what do I do, what do I do? And they were the ones that reminded me, no, you're doing everything right. Why are you feeling bad about something that's out of your control? For example, last year in some races, there could be people that took me out or a mechanical failure.
Okay.
And I'd be upset about it, but it's not in your control. And then sometimes you need someone else to say that to you for you to be happy. Sometimes you need other people to talk to you to be happy. And that's when I started to realize I just need to focus on what I can do, what I can control, and then I will be calm. Then I won't have the doubts. Then I won't feel frustrated because I'm just focusing on myself. Nothing else matters. And that's how I push through.
Fantastic. See, this brings me to ask this question from you. When you were 13 years old, you're in Italy. You've been sent to Italy when Sri Lankan parents don't allow for a 13-year-old to even go in a bus.
Yeah.
You've been asked to go to Italy, stay there for 10 months, and you've been racing, and no easy game, right?
Yeah.
You were not performing every day the way that you wanted. How did you handle this 10 months? Like, okay, it's a courageous and a very bold move. When the discussion was taken in the family, you're going to Italy for this, what was going in your mind? How did you take it, and how did you approach it?
I mean, I looked at it at first and I was like, obviously not sure. I have to be honest, because I was a 13-year-old kid and I was about to go into a full-time racing life, switch to online school, not see my friends at all, and just drive weekend in and weekend out. And although I love the sport, my life is not just racing, but it did become just racing. And if I'm being honest, I'm thankful it did. Those 10 months were hard, but I was able to keep in touch with family. I was able to just drive on the sim at home every day, which helped me stay connected to racing, but stay connected to, not getting myself distracted and bored and missing home. And then usually I was driving every other week. So even though I had these emotions of missing home and missing family and stuff, I had racing to kind of like distract me from that and help me pursue my goal, because every weekend was different. Every track was different. So it was something new, it was a new challenge that I was learning every week. And then it got to the end of the year and it was just like, okay, next week is this, next week is that, next week is this. And then you get to the last race of the season and that's the 10 months over. So it was a good 10 months, it was difficult, but I was able to manage by focusing step by step and not looking at it as a 10-month stretch.
Right. What is like the most memorable, just tell me a memorable weekend
or a memory,
memory within that 10 months. Because see, Yevan, it's not easy. I was just trying to picture myself when I was 13 years.
Yeah.
How would I have done that?
Yeah.
I couldn't,
Yeah.
right? So all alone there, you had to do your own chores, laundry, all this.
Yeah.
Right? Share some memories during these days. How tough you were, whether you felt like giving up.
I mean, we have to remember it was also during COVID time. Yeah. So I didn't actually go out that much. I didn't see much friends, like even for restaurants and stuff.
That's even tougher.
Yeah, because then I had to cook my own meals and stuff. But that actually helped me because I was able to call my parents and say, okay, like, how much powder do I put in? How long do I cook this for and stuff? And I learned how to cook and stuff. And I mean, it was only 2 or 3 meals that I was cooking, like chicken and rice and French toast and a bit of pizza, microwave pizza that I was eating.
Yeah.
But it was okay. And I guess my greatest memories were like, I had friends from Singapore at the time who were driving on the sim. Okay. And I used to drive on the sim for like 4, 5, 6 hours a day because although I had school, I was still quite young, so it wasn't a lot. Yep. So I was just driving and driving and driving, and every single day I was driving on the sim. And then when I wasn't, I was at the track. So it was just racing and driving that filled my memories. And then also the best memory was this one weekend where I got my first pole position in the European Championship. I finished 5th in the race, and it was my birthday weekend as well. That had to be the best memory in that 2021 season.
Okay. So when you lose in one of these races, when you come back, how do you deal with it?
Well, I remember on that birthday weekend in 2021, I had a bad Thursday and I had a bad practice. I made a mistake and I wasn't that quick and I wasn't doing well. I wasn't driving well. And I guess what I tell myself and what I told myself then was, okay, that happened. It's done. It's in the past. Whatever has happened then, it's okay. You've learned from it now. So you focus on the present. You focus on, okay, I probably turned in a bit too late that time, so I'm just gonna turn in a bit earlier this time. You focus corner by corner on what you need to do, and then you make it simple for your mind. Your mind is not stressed, it's not thinking about the past or the future or the mistakes you've made. It's just calm. And then you learn to move forward. You learn from the mistakes. That was my process of learning from mistakes and going through those tough times.
I will definitely come to this point of, how you calm yourself down, because as a driver that needs to be there. But before I come into that, I need to ask you a question about when you're playing at the world-class level, right? This world-class level, and it's no joke, right? At this time, Yevan, there are many sacrifices that you need to make. As you very correctly said, yes, you are leaving your friends, the normal way of, normal 13-year-old or a teenager's lifestyle. A little different, not little different, I think a lot different from that. How do you see this sacrifice?
It was tough. I was very close to my school friends in 2020 when I just left Italy. And then I didn't see them for I don't know how many months. And just switching to that full-time racing life was tough, not going to school anymore. I missed school a lot. I missed family a lot because I wasn't with them. I was just with my coach in Italy, living there. So I didn't get the family aspect or my friends. But what I did get was a lot of socializing with my racing friends there. Okay. I talked to a lot of mechanics, I talked to a lot of engineers, and I learned so much about the racing world and what it's like to be in the racing world, more than I could ever imagined. I was just some driver on the grid back then, but now I'm someone in F3 that's, making it. And I look at that and I'm like, that just happened in an instant. All those tough times, it didn't matter because the times I pushed through made up for it. Yeah. So those sacrifices were completely worth it in the end. And it doesn't even register to my mind that those were sacrifices, because in the end, the result paid the price.
Say, since you're talking about the sacrifices and, from the time that you planned to go or decided to go professional on this, how did you plan the journey? Is there a specific thing that you thought through, okay, this is what I'm going to do, this I'm going to take every race, and so on? So you might have had a thinking process in that.
Yeah, we always take it race by race. For example, this season, in the Euro Formula season, I'm second in the championship now, and we're coming up to Red Bull Ring as the next race. I have a chance to take back the championship lead, but I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about, all right, let's do a good Friday, let's do a good practice, let's do a good qualifying, and then see how it goes in the races. Do a good race one, see how it goes. And my point is, take it step by step. I take it step by step. I approach one race weekend at a time, one season at a time, because, for example, I'm going to F3 next year. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to do the best job possible. And whether I do a second year of F3 or go up to F2, it doesn't matter. All I'm focused on is what I can do next year, and more importantly, what I'm going to do in the next race. So it's just step-by-step process.
Step-by-step process. So you take one challenge at a time.
Exactly. If you try to focus on the whole thing, you're just going to overwhelm yourself, like in anything. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah. So I was listening to this talk. 528 races, 25 wins. 25 wins, right? I think the numbers are different now since the time that you gave the talk.
Yeah.
How do you look at losing?
Losing is tough. No one wants to lose. No one does this sport or any sport to lose. No one, pursues things in life to lose. So even though you don't want it, you have to realize that it's a part of it, and it's something that can help you. Winning is great, but what I said in the talk was losing always teaches you more. You lose, you finish second place. Yep. There's always a reason why you finish second place. It doesn't mean it's your fault. Maybe the engine was not as fast. Maybe you started 8th place and you finished second place, but there's always a reason to why you didn't win. As long as you pick that one reason each time you didn't succeed and improve on that, that's all you can do. Yeah. And that becomes a cycle of fixing that one reason every single time until you get to where you want to be. And if you can't, then that's the end result. But at least you know you tried. At least you tried to fix one of those reasons every single time. And that's how the process goes.
In this discussion, or in this talk, you're saying like, hey, losing asked tough questions from you. What are the questions that losing asked you?
Well,
and what are the answers that you gave?
Well, I mean, especially last year in Formula 4, I didn't have a good, well, I had a good season because I learned a lot and I drove pretty well, but it was tough in terms of results. And it asked me, am I good enough? Am I even going to make it to F1? Am I even like worthy to go to Euro Formula next year? I asked those questions 1 year ago, but here we are today. So those questions pushed me more and pushed me to find more that I could extract from myself and to succeed in life. And that kept pushing my limit more and more and more. And I still don't know my limit. And my point is, how do you know your limit if you've never reached it? It's gonna keep pushing you until you keep pushing that limit, but you'll never know until you reach it. So we'll never know what we're capable of until you do it.
Until you do it.
Yeah. It's crazy to think because who knows, you could just keep pushing and pushing and you'll never know your limit, but you have to go through it. So, yeah.
When you were losing this amount of races now, it is not easy game, right? You burn cash, you burn money, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of investment.
Sport, yeah.
It's not a cheap sport, right? How did your parents take it over? Like,
well, I mean, you look at it, right? Obviously, I don't like losing. My parents don't like losing because, as we said, it's not a cheap sport, We have to pay for each race, we have to pay for each season. But what I'm very thankful for is that they know losing is a part of it, I mean, even NBA legends or other sporting legends, they showed up every day and they didn't win every tournament, they didn't win every game, they didn't win every match because they knew it was part of it. So what I'm very thankful for is my parents know that losing is a part of it. I still have the potential, and that's why we're gonna keep working. No matter what it costs, no matter what it takes, because obviously the budget is one thing, but there's also a lot of hard work we put into it, Even I can ask myself, I'm going to the gym every day, every week, and then I lose. What's the point of it? We can always ask that question, but we have to realize losing is a part of it, and I'm thankful that we all know that.
So, also, Yevan, with this, sometimes when you do silly mistakes, you feel like, okay, I could have done it differently.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? You do these silly mistakes, you feel that. Or as when things are not going the way you want it, right? Have you been too hard on yourself?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like this year I've been better because I'd say there's one or two mistakes that I could have been like, yeah, come on, you could have done that better. But I didn't take it so harsh. I was like, okay, that's what I could have done better. Good to know.
Move on.
Do it. Exactly. Move on. Slide it there, move on. Whereas last year, it was like, yeah, I had to keep pounding myself. Oh, why did we do that? If we had not done it, it would have been fine and stuff like that. It's like when you're late for something, You miss a bus stop or something like that. And it's just like, why? But it can happen, And that's how I look at it as racing. It's like, okay, that happened, move on. When your brain starts consuming too much and you put too much emotion to it, that's not going to help it. So that's what I realized. So yeah.
So being at the back of the grid for a long period, right? Big questions, right? Pushing yourself and so on. How did you change the narrative for you to really, change your mindset maybe to really climb up and come forward? So,
I mean, I think heading into the 2023 season was when I really started to change my mind. It was like my last year of karting. I started to realize, okay, we need to mentally be strong. We need to be putting in the work, not just in the gym, but mentally being able to focus. And that year was a very good year for me. I didn't get the results I wanted, but I noticed I was better than the year before. And I was like, okay, I'm okay with that. And I ended that season knowing I was going into cars. And I was like, okay, I have my mental strength now. I have my physical strength. Let's do this. And I guess my mindset really changed from when I started driving to now, which is focusing on the mindset. And like I said, not having those mistakes, not focusing on those mistakes and doubts so much. And that's where my mental strength came from. That's where my mindset came from.
Yeah, now giving up is something which is always there as an option.
Yeah.
from the beginning to the end, you can give up anytime you want,
Yeah.
right? I'm sure you would have got these thoughts as well about giving up, have you?
I mean, I haven't had thoughts of giving up fully yet. I've had thoughts of, maybe stopping racing. I've had thoughts of maybe stopping school. I've had thoughts of giving up. But what I realized is there are things that are not worth giving up for. There are things in life, and there is life itself that is not worth giving up for. Whatever you're going through, whatever is so tough, it will eventually be better. As long as you're willing to make those changes, as long as you're willing to stand up for yourself and make sure you're not feeling these bad things and these bad emotions and these doubts, for example, like how I was in racing, and you push through it, you will come out of the other side. The hard parts and the hard things that we go through is what it takes to succeed in life. And that's the way to go, onwards and upwards.
Fantastic. See, I want to make this very specific.
Yes.
Right? I want to make this very specific. See, you coming from a place where there's high pressure environments, right? You carry the weight of the whole team on your shoulders when you get into the car and drive. I want to ask you this question: if a person is in the verge of giving up right now, right? If a person who's watching this is the verge of giving up something in their life, what would you tell them?
One thing I would tell them is, it's okay. Whatever you're going through, it's okay.
Yeah.
It will be better. And there are a lot of people that care about you. Even if there's everyone against you, you have yourself. You always have yourself. Take care, and it will be okay. It will blow over because you're willing to make the work happen and willing to make the changes and willing to trust that time will heal. That's all you need. That's all you need.
Great. Now it's set a good stage for me to ask about the mindset.
Yes.
Right? As a race driver, you need to have a peak mindset, peak energy all the time, and you have to go at that, right? What sort of things that you do to train your mindset to get into racing?
Well, I do like these meditations every day for like 3 minutes, and basically the point of it is so that I can like clear my thoughts, clear my head, because the process of clearing it for at least 3 minutes or maybe even more is what helps me on track. So when I'm on track, when my mind is clear, when my mind has no thoughts, is when I'm driving fastest. You know, when you play sports and you have this one good day and you're just doing everything perfectly, you know exactly what to do, it's when your mind is not thinking. So I practice that every day to try and just switch it on, because the zone is the hardest thing to switch on. That is the zone, getting into that feeling of no thoughts. So I do that in terms of mental training, and then in terms of hand-eye coordination, I do juggling and things like that, you know. And then obviously in the gym, I try to go as hard as possible, as tough as possible all the time, because when your body is stressed and your mind is stressed, if you're willing to be calm during those physically tough moments, your mind will get stronger.
Wow.
And, you know, you train your brain not to give up, you know? So those are the main 3 things I do to help my mind.
So in a sense, every time, all the time, you put yourself in this zone of, you know, training yourself. It's not a one-off thing. You have to consistently do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like sports is 100% mental training. In the gym, all you're doing is getting your muscles stronger. But to go to the gym, to actually endure the gym, to be strong at the gym, it's here. It's not in the muscles. So this sport is 100% mental.
See, this is a very interesting question that I always wanted to ask you, right? I've been watching your races and I've been seeing, like, you know, you're a nice guy when we meet like this, but I don't see that, when you get into the car, you're so ruthless, man, right? You're from the P4, you just like a boom, you go forward, right? You don't care. You just put yourself out there. Risk is a mild word to say, right? What goes in your mind when you get into the car and you are at P4 and you see the P1 out there, right? To go flat out, go aggressive there, right? What goes in your mind at the time?
Well, try and picture this, right? You're following someone, right? You're probably catching up to them for 2-3 laps. You see you're getting closer and closer and closer. And then one lap, you come to this certain corner and you're so close, you can feel something, you can feel like you want to go, and then boom, you just go for it. And that action of going for it is, I can't express how much, it's just instinct internally. I don't even think about it. It's just you see it getting closer and boom, that's it. And it's just that every single time, over and over again. Like you said, I'm a nice guy here, but my actions on track are different. You know, I am the driver. I am who I am on track. And that's not just happened this year, no. Those overtakes, the way I drive on track has been 11 years of driving. So it's a lot of training and it's a lot of experience as well. But that's the thought process.
So now it's good to talk about you catching up to these guys or, you know, overtaking them and so on and so forth. But when you're driving, when you're racing, if someone overtakes you, what goes in your mind?
So usually when someone overtakes me, I'm actually very calm now. I mean, before I would have been like, oh, he's overtaking me, I got to get back in front. But now, let's say if someone overtakes me, I'll be like, okay, stay calm, it's okay. You'll get him back next lap. You'll get him back when you start catching up. So when I see someone overtake me, I just tell myself, it's okay, just relax. Because if you start to stress and be like, you put emotion into it, that's only gonna go backwards. So it's like you have to tell your mind to do the opposite and be like, okay, it's calm, even though you're losing places. So it's tough, but you have to get used to that. So
Yeah, there's no other way, right?
There is no other way, yeah. Exactly.
Because why I'm asking this question is, Yevan, it's not only about racing, right? In life also, it's the same thing. Yeah, that, you know, this is what you call you're competing with someone, or, you know, that's life. I see life in racing.
Yeah.
All the time.
Life is racing, yes.
Exactly. Because Eshan and I, we were in Malaysia, we were watching this karting race and we see a massive accident happening, right?
Yes.
And he was like, hey man, this is life.
Yeah.
You go from somewhere, someone comes and knock you off, even, you know, you don't know what hit you, right? That's why I'm asking like how you face this. So, talking about accidents, if someone comes and, you know, brush you off and you take a spin, you go off the track, what goes in your mind and how you tackle it?
Again, that's happened a couple times this season as well. And honestly, I look at it as going back to what's in my control. If that was a reason that's out of my control, I'm like, okay, learn from it. Let's move on. Maybe I could have done something earlier in the race to be more ahead so that he wouldn't have crashed into me. So I'm gonna focus on that. But the actual act of someone crashing into me or someone doing something to me, there's nothing I can do about that. So it's just about being better, being more ahead next time. That's it. Yeah.
Superb. So when you, on the race day, before you get into the car or when you get into the car or on the race day for a particular race, what's the goal in your mind for that day?
To do the best. That doesn't mean to win. That means to drive to the limit of the car. That means to drive to the limit of your potential. On a race weekend, there is a limit. If you go over the limit, that's not good. If you go under the limit, that's not good. You can't just push hard. You have to push on this fine line. If I'm on that line for the whole weekend, I'm happy. Even if I don't win all 3 races, if I'm on that line for the whole weekend, that's okay. Because I know that if I'm focusing on what I can do to be on that line of the limit, I will get to where I'm going. I'll probably win all 3 races if I'm on that line. So I trust that. Out of a race weekend, that's when you push your limit. You push your limit to how many times you can go to the gym, how many times you can meditate a day, how many times you can work on yourself. That's the hard part. The race weekend is only a result of the hard work you've done already.
So when you say you need to know your, I would say the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Right? Not too much, not too little. Right? How do you get there? Is it the experience or how do you get there?
Feeling.
It's the gut.
Feeling, that's it. You feel, it's a feeling in your body. You can feel how much grip you have underneath you. You feel how much speed you can carry through a corner. You feel the car slide slightly and you're like, oh, okay, that seems like the limit. And then you do the same for every corner. It's unimaginable how you can't explain it, but it's just these little feelings of knowing where the grip is. And then it's about not making mistakes and driving to that limit.
So this question that I'm going to bring is for the young budding drivers. right? So Yevan, there are a lot of young go-kart or budding drivers who are watching this, right? There's this while I'm in Bandagam circuit, or you go abroad or whatever, when you go to these places, we see that this these drivers get distracted with their mobile phones, friends, girlfriends, boyfriends, or maybe, right? I'm sure as a teenager, you have those distractions as well. Maybe you have those temptations as well coming to you. How do you deal with it? How important? How do you really focus on a race day or a race week or something like that, right? This phone distraction, because this is a conversation this is coming. In the sense, okay, these youngsters may say, no, it's not a distraction, right? But some of the old folks might be saying, like your parents maybe, say that you're so distracted with your phone.
Yeah.
Right? You focus on the race.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, I've had it before where I've been like on my phone sometimes, in between sessions and stuff, and I had to remind myself, whoa, okay, you're here for a reason, okay? So I guess you have to remind yourself, like, on a race weekend, or when you're doing something for the goal, make sure you do it at 100%. So it's okay to use your phone, it's okay to, hang out with friends away from it. But when you're actually on the race weekend, do everything possible to be focused. Do everything possible to win then. And then allocate the time, let's say on the Monday, Tuesday after the race, to switch off, to be on your phone, to watch Netflix. That's okay. Because it's okay to have those things when you switch off. Because if you can't switch off, you can't switch on. But when you are switched on and when you're at the racetrack, fully focus on that. Because it's not that you have to get into this mindset of being like angry and focused and that. It's just doing whatever possible to win. If you think being on your phone for 10, 15 minutes is not going to help you, then don't do it. But if you think it is going to help you switch off, then that's okay. It's just analyzing every little thing on the race weekend and going, is this going to help me?
But the question is, Yevan, you can't lie to yourself, right?
Yeah.
You just because that you can't wait without reading a WhatsApp message or a notification that comes, but you tell others, no, this is not distracting me, right? And wait in there, you're just lying to yourself, right? On a race weekend, what do you do? Do you get on phone?
Well, usually like from 30 minutes before the first session, I switch my phone off and I put it to a side. And then usually in between the session, I have it on me in case the team manager calls saying I need to go somewhere, but I never use it. I just have it in my pocket. Sometimes when I go to lunch and I'm there the whole day, I just leave my phone in the truck, so I don't have it. And then after the last session, when I'm on the way back to the hotel is when I use my phone, when I need to switch off and process. So when I'm at the track, I try to be off my phone as much as possible. But sometimes after races, when people are congratulating me and stuff, I say thank you and stuff. And I know that stuff doesn't distract me, but maybe it doesn't necessarily help. So it's something I can improve on as well. But obviously it's just looking at these little things and thinking about whether they're going to be better. So yeah. But obviously on a normal race day, I wouldn't look at my phone.
Super. Let's talk about for race dads and race moms, right?
Yes.
They go through tremendous pressure and they are like, oh, hey, you need to win, you need to win always. Like even if you hit a podium, yet you're not number one, right?
Yeah.
This pressure is there, right? Can you share some of the gestures that your parents brought in when you were losing and so on, which helped you?
Yeah, I mean, what really helped me was that they looked at things objectively, meaning that if I messed up and I did something wrong, they'll be like, okay, make sure this is better, but don't worry, you have the potential to fight through the field and go up in the race or do better in the next race, so it's okay. But if there's a genuine problem where I don't have the talent or I'm not genuinely quick enough or I'm not doing the work that I need to put in, they will tell me and they'll be like, you need to do this better. But if I do everything possible and I still don't win, they'll be okay because they know it was some other reason, So my advice to all the parents out there is don't be so upset if your kid loses. Maybe he lost because he wasn't fast enough, but maybe he needs more practice to be fast enough. That's it. So it's just looking at things in an objective kind of way, not putting emotion into it. That'll help.
Fantastic, right? Okay, we're going to talk about balance in life now when it comes to racing. You're still studying, yeah?
Yes, I am. Last year of A-levels coming up.
Oh yeah, so you need to study, you need to go on with your schoolwork, racing, life, and now with this F3, many media things will come up and so on and so forth, right? Especially let's talk about the studies. How do you manage your studies, family time, and racing?
Well, I mean, in terms of studying, usually after a race or between races, I do that pretty much the whole day. And then I spend time with the family in the evening or in the morning usually. And then sometimes, well, most of the time my family comes to the races, so I'm having them there anyways. And then usually, yeah, my day, obviously when I'm at home is basically fully on school and fully on gym and trying to improve on the sim, doing some meditation and stuff. And then in the evenings, I spend time with family. So those three things are balanced, but they're still all cycled through during a day. And you get used to it. You get used to the managing and it becomes part of your routine. So yeah.
Last time you said that you put your study time while you're flying.
Yes, I still do that because I live in Dubai, so 6-hour flights back from races, it's 6 hours of sitting in a plane. So I might as well do something.
Okay.
So that's, yeah, I do still study on planes. That's one way of managing as well.
How many flights this year?
50 flights this year. Last year we hit 68, but it's August now and it's 50. So it's probably going to be past the record, yeah. So yeah.
Right, okay. When you're going through a frustrating period,
yes,
your close circles matter a lot.
Yes.
Right. How have they helped you so far?
Oh,
I'm talking about leave aside. Parents definitely they help.
Yeah. But actual team.
Exactly. And also, how do you pick the peers who are around you?
Yeah.
To really support you? Because not everyone is really supportive. Let's face it, right? They are there for their own advantages or something like that. So how do you pick this?
Well, I look at it as, having the right people around you, because you'll know if they're saying something that doesn't really help, then you have to question why are they there with you, But I've been so thankful to have such a good team by my side, by the track. I have my coach and my manager who help me all the time. And they help me so much because they can see if I do something wrong and they make sure that the team is on top of it. And even the team itself, the engineers and the mechanics, when they say I've done a good job, when something goes wrong and they'll be like, don't worry, we're gonna keep working on it, you do your thing. They've helped me so much, And it made me realize I'm not alone, What I'm doing, what I'm fighting for, I have a team with me. I have my coach, my manager, my mechanics, my engineer, most of all my family, but we're all in this. We're all pushing towards the same thing.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be more thankful for that. And that actually really helps me to know that I'm not alone. I can speak to people, I can have people help me. And that's what you have to remember. Everything in life, you always have a team. Even when it doesn't feel like it, there always is.
Since we're coming to the latter part of our discussion to the final stages, this is something that I really want to ask you, right? Because now the Gen Zs, the Gen Alphas, the youngsters, right? They say, no, we can't relate to the older folks, right? The Gen X or the millennials or whatever you call it, whatever tags that you put, right?
Yeah.
Now you are in the same cluster as these really young guys. The thing is, we see sometimes instant gratification because of social media and so on. We need success so fast. At the snap of your fingers, you need it. You are looking for cheat ways of getting there. Cheat codes, right? For success, right? For success, what is your view? Do you have easy or fast lane for that? As a youngster, tell it to your peers.
No. There's no fast route to success. There's no cheating to success. It's gonna take time. It's gonna take a lot of hard work. But you have to remember that that's part of it. Take it day by day. Say you have to do 2 hours of studying, 2 hours of driving on the sim a day. Okay, that's it for the day. 2 hours the next day, 3 hours the next day. You keep building like that, and it takes time. But you did this, and you're doing this for something. You're doing this for a reward. You're doing this for yourself and to succeed. You just need to remember that that's the main reason, and you keep going. That's it.
Yeah, so the old school thought still remains the same.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hard work beats talent always.
Hard work, consistency.
Hard work, consistency, yep, and obviously focus. But with saying that, it's okay to switch off sometimes when you need a break.
Yeah.
Switching off properly can refresh your brain as well to come back at it. It's just knowing yourself and knowing when to do that. And then, yeah, there's no fast routes. Hard, slow work will pay the price.
Someone can also say, Yevan here, hey, Yevan has money, his parents got money, money can do things and so on, money can bring all the comforts that he wants and stuff. But I certainly believe money will take you, give you the ticket to the track, but it will never get you the win.
Not to the win.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So how do you, what is your take on that?
Well, I mean, you know, obviously I have to say a huge thanks to my parents for helping that and, you know, having the budget to be able to race and stuff. But it's like school, you know. Obviously you can pay a price to go to the school or something, but it doesn't mean you get an A star. You can pay the price of tutoring and stuff, but it doesn't mean you're going to get an A star. You still have to do the work. You still have to push through yourself, and not just you, as a team. In racing, it's me, it's my engineer, it's my family, it's my coach. We all are pushing. So participating is one thing, winning is another thing, and that's what you have to focus on.
See, when you speak that, this is what comes to my mind, all right? Everybody is unique in this world. Yes, in our perspective, we can say that some are born blessed and some are not born blessed. I think everyone is born blessed for their own unique purpose in this world, right? They have a unique thing that they have to do, and for that, they have all the resources that they need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? So, the thing is, okay, Yevan is coming, okay, you have the opportunity to go racetrack, but the sacrifices, the hardships, the challenges, the people beating you down, saying no to you, all those things are there for you as well, isn't it?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but I believe like everyone's story has this, but it's all about the mind game that you need to pull through. What do you think? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could have come out on the other side of this saying, oh, I've stopped racing because people crashed into me, I lost too many times, I didn't know what to do, I made too many mistakes. Or you come out on the other side saying, all right, those things happened, I feel terrible, I feel sad because those things happened, but I'm gonna move past it. I've won a couple races, I've been good in a couple races, and I'm gonna build on that. I'm gonna keep going, and here we are, you know, on the other side. So there are things that can bring you down. Everyone has things that can bring you down. If you're late to something, if you're not gonna see your family for a holiday or something because you have work or something like that. There are things that'll always bring you down. That's part of life. Everyone goes through that.
Yes.
But if you focus on those things that'll bring you down, that's what will affect you. You can't let these factors and the things around you affect you. You have to be happy from within and focus on the good things. Like I said, you know, I've won a few races. I'm gonna build on that. I have a great family at home. I'm enjoying time away from racing. I'm enjoying just driving the car even if I'm not winning. So that's good enough, and I'm gonna keep pushing.
Fantastic. Yevan, thank you for being with us. Pit Pass has been journeying with you throughout. Thank you very much for your time. And we continue as Pit Pass, we continue to support you and to take your stories out there.
Absolutely. Thank you to you so much, and huge thanks to Pit Pass for all the support the last few years.
Thank you so much. Also, finally, I want to really talk about the location partner who is here today. That is our Parak Club, right? So
Yes.
Parak Club has been a part of, in the sense, we be hosting our pitcasts and so many other discussions over here in this place as well. Hats off to Sachit and the team for giving this space. I want to ask you, now you have traveled the world and racing and so on. This is the only place in Sri Lanka, the only restaurant in Sri Lanka dedicated for motorsports,
Yes.
right? So you would have traveled around the world, you've seen these type of places, paddocks you might have seen, right? What do you see here and those places? What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, it's a great cafe. I love the Parak Club cafe, and I was here for the opening. I love driving on the simulators as well, and I see my friends watching F1 races here sometimes watching my races, and I'm super thankful for that. And to be honest, it's a very cool cafe, and it's nice to have it in Sri Lanka. It's not far from home, but if anything, it just feels like home because it's in Sri Lanka, you know? So honestly, I'd love to just spend every weekend here in Sri Lanka.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Yevan.
Thank you very much to
Wish
you.
you all the best for F3, and
Yes.
we want to see you in F1. This is our dream. This is every Sri Lankan's dream, and we are going to be behind you.
Absolutely.
Right? Take the flag and go roar like a lion.
Absolutely. Thank you
Drive
so
like a lion.
much, and thanks for all the support.
Super. See you guys. Cheerio.